I've lived alone for almost 2 years now. Quiet neighborhood, decent area, one-bedroom house, backed up to some woods. It's the kind of place where nothing really happens. Or at least, that's what I thought. It was a Thursday night, around 11:30 p.m. I had just turned off the TV and locked up for the night. Same routine as always. Check the doors, lights off, bedroom door cracked open. I was lying in bed scrolling on my phone when I heard something. It sounded like footsteps. Outside. On the leaves. I sat up. At first I thought it was an animal, maybe a raccoon, but the steps were too slow and too heavy. I got up, went to the front window, peeked through the blinds. Nothing. I waited. Maybe it was my imagination. Then, another sound. This time, closer. My back door. The handle. Click. Like someone tried it. I froze. I didn't move, just listened. Then, again. Someone was trying my back door. I grabbed my phone, went to the kitchen, turned on all the lights inside, but kept the outside dark. I didn't want whoever it was to know I was up. I dialed 911. The dispatcher stayed on the line. Told me to stay put, keep quiet, wait for officers. About 6 minutes later, I saw red and blue lights. 2 officers came. I opened the door, whispering, trying not to freak out. They checked around the house, through the yard, even into the woods a bit. Came back and said, "No signs of anyone. Probably just an animal." I asked, "Did you check the back door?" One of them said, "Yeah, still locked." I told them I heard someone try the handle. They nodded, gave me a card, told me to call if it happens again, and left. I tried to calm down, went back to bed. I left the kitchen light on just in case. Around 2 a.m., I woke up again. My bedroom door was completely closed. I always leave it cracked open. Always. I got up, heart pounding. Opened the door slowly, peeking out. The hallway was dark, but I saw something strange. The back door, it was unlocked. I locked it again, this time double-checked everything. But something didn't feel right. Next morning, I remembered I had an old phone with a working camera. I decided to set it up while I was out at work, just to record the kitchen and back door area. When I came home, everything looked normal. But when I checked the footage, around 1:47 p.m., someone walked into my kitchen, a tall man. He came from inside the house. He wasn't breaking in. He was already there. He walked to the fridge, took a bottle of water, sat down on one of my chairs, and stared toward the hallway for 10 minutes. Then walked out of frame. I don't know where he went. I called the police again, showed them the footage. This time, they took it seriously. They searched the entire house, and eventually, they found a small entry to the attic in the hallway. Inside, they found old bedding, snack wrappers, and an empty phone charger. He had been living in my attic, probably for weeks, coming down when I was at work, maybe even while I was asleep. Police never found him. He just vanished, left everything behind. I moved out. I couldn't stay another night. I still check my ceilings in new places. Still keep a camera running when I leave. The scariest part isn't that he got in, it's that he didn't need to. He was already inside, watching me, living above me, and I would have never known if I hadn't left that camera running. I moved into my new place about 8 months ago. It's nothing special. An old brick apartment building, 3 floors, no elevator. I'm on the 2nd floor. I liked it because it was quiet. That's all I really wanted. Peace and quiet. There was just one odd thing about the building. Apartment 6A. The door was always shut. The blinds always closed. I never saw anyone go in or out, not once. I asked the landlord, kind of casually, "Does someone live there?" He just nodded and said, "Yeah, he keeps to himself." That's all. But I started noticing things. Like sometimes when I got home late, I'd hear movement inside 6A. Not footsteps, but dragging sounds, or soft thumping, like someone crawling. A few times I swear I heard whispering behind the door as I walked by. But when I stopped to listen, silence. I tried to ignore it. Then one night I found a sticky note on my door. It just said, "You walk too loud." No name, no apartment number. I thought it was weird, but maybe someone was just annoyed. Whatever. I threw it out, but then I found another one the next week. "Stop looking through my door." I hadn't. I hadn't even looked at the door. That night, I dreamt someone was watching me sleep through the peephole. I started noticing more. My doormat flipped, my lock slightly scratched, like someone had picked at it. And once, when I came home from work, my fridge was open, just slightly. I thought maybe I left it that way, but I'm not that careless. So I did something I wasn't proud of. I bought a small security camera, one of those hidden ones that look like an air freshener. I set it up by the door, pointing toward my apartment hallway. First 2 nights, nothing. On the third night, around 3:12 a.m., I watched a man come out of apartment 6A. He was barefoot, thin, and he walked straight to my door. He stood there for almost 5 minutes, just listening. Not knocking, not moving, just breathing. At one point, he leaned forward and put his mouth against the peephole. I had no idea someone could be that quiet. And then he whispered something. The camera couldn't pick it up, but I heard it. Through the door that night. I remembered. He whispered, "I know when you're sleeping." I felt sick. I called the landlord the next morning. I told him what I saw. He looked tired, not surprised. And then he told me something I wish I never heard. "No one's rented 6A in over 2 years." I said, "What do you mean?" I saw him. I recorded him. He just shook his head and said, "I've changed the locks twice. Whoever it is, they're not supposed to be there." I called the cops. They went in. Apartment 6A was empty. Mattress on the floor, no furniture, no lights. But there were dozens of sticky notes on the walls, all written in the same shaky handwriting. Phrases like, "He watches me too. Don't let them sleep. The door is the eye." I showed them the footage. They took it seriously at first. But after 2 days, nothing. They told me to stay alert and call if anything happens again. That's it. I moved out the next week. I still have the video. I still have the notes. But the part that keeps me up at night is something I realized a few weeks later. I was going through old photos on my phone, random ones I'd taken in the apartment. And in one, a mirror selfie. In the background, inside my closet, there was a hand on the door. I never noticed it before. And now, wherever I go, I always check the closets first, because I don't think he ever lived in 6A. I think he was already in mine. I live alone. 1-bedroom apartment, nothing special. Work, come home, eat, sleep. I'm not paranoid. I don't believe in ghosts or demons or any of that. But something happened that changed how I see everything. It started with small things. Stupid things. I'd find my kitchen knife in the wrong drawer, a glass left out that I don't remember using. I figured I was tired, maybe just forgetting. That's normal, right? But it kept happening. Little, off details. Things I know I didn't do. Then came the keys. One Saturday, I stayed home all day. Didn't leave once. But that evening, I found my apartment keys in the bathroom, on the sink. There's no way I could have gotten back in without them. I laughed it off, tried to be logical. I even started writing things down, where I put stuff. But that didn't help. I'd write, keys on kitchen counter. Next morning, they'd be under the couch. Then one night, I woke up and saw my closet, wide open. I always keep it closed, always. That's when I set up a webcam, just my laptop facing the room while I slept, just to prove I was losing my mind. First night, nothing. Second night, nothing. Third night, around 3:41 a.m., the closet door slowly creaks open, and someone crawls out. Not walks, crawls, naked, thin, slow. They move across the floor toward my bed. I'm sleeping on my side, completely unaware. They sit next to the bed. Just sit there for 10 minutes, watching me. Then, just as slowly, they crawl back to the closet and shut the door behind them. I must have stared at the screen for half an hour, frozen. I don't even remember breathing. That thing was in my apartment. For how long? I have no idea. I called the police. They searched the place. No one there. But inside the closet, behind a panel, they found stuff. A thin mattress, empty water bottles, protein bars, and burner. No SIM. They said it's likely a squatter. Happens sometimes in apartment buildings. But the way they moved, that wasn't normal. That wasn't just some homeless person hiding out. They knew how to avoid being caught. Knew how to live completely undetected. I moved out the same day. Haven't been back. I still have a copy of that video. The last frame haunts me. Just before they crawl back, they look up and stare directly into the camera. Like they knew I'd be watching. Like they were waiting for it. And the worst part? I don't know how many other nights. They were standing there, watching me sleep.